Hello everyone, and welcome to today's video on Cardiff Killers and Mysteries. Today, our story is about Carol Ann Stevens and Stranger Danger. If you're from Cardiff, drop us a comment and leave us a like. It was the 7th of April, 1959, and it was raining heavily. Carol Ann Stevens was a 6-year-old girl who lived in Malaphant Street, Kitayes, Cardiff, with her mother Mavis, her stepfather Ken, and a friend named Kevin Northcott. Carol was described as being tall for her age, measuring at 3 foot 6 inches, and plump, with a fresh complexion and rosy cheeks. She had brown eyes and wore steel-rimmed glasses. She was said to have been a happy, lively, and confident child. On this day, Mavis, Carol's mother, was busy preparing dinner and sent 6-year-old Carol out to the shops for cigarettes and sweets. When Carol returned home from the shops, she asked her mother if she could go outside and play. Although Mavis was busy preparing food and dinner wouldn't be long, Carol seemed excited, so Mavis allowed her to go and play until food was ready. Carol excitedly ran off to interrupt Kevin of his hobby of collecting car number plates, to boast that she was going on a car ride and asked if he would like to join her. He declined her offer and off she went. Unfortunately, she never came back, and that was the last time anyone saw 6-year-old Carol Ann Stevens alive. Initially, detectives turned their attention onto James Lynch, Carol's biological father and Mavis Stevens' first husband. James moved to London following his divorce with Mavis 4 years prior to Carol's disappearance. The word on the street was that Carol's real father wanted his daughter back. James Lynch found out about Carol's disappearance after seeing it in a newspaper and promptly went to the police station to try and clear his name. The 33-year-old was interviewed by Metropolitan Police and was able to prove he hadn't seen his daughter in 4 years and had absolutely nothing to do with her disappearance. This meant police were forced to turn their attention elsewhere. Mavis made her own inquiries with neighbours and friends and was shocked when neighbours told her about a strange man who was peering over her back garden wall into Carol's bedroom on the Monday night. Neighbours also told her about Carol getting out of a strange car. A few weeks prior to Carol's disappearance, Carol had told multiple friends and classmates that she had a new uncle and that he would take her for lovely rides in his motor car. Adult witnesses described a small green saloon-type car that they saw Carol get out of not far from Carol's home on Malaphant Street the day before her abduction. They said they thought it seemed strange that she was dropped off around the corner and not directly outside her house. A 16-year-old boy said he had seen the car in the days leading up to Carol's disappearance. The boy described the man sitting inside as dark-haired, wearing a trench coat and a brimmed hat. He was reading some papers when Carol knocked on the car window. Kevin Northcott, Carol's friend who lived with her and her parents, almost caught Carol's abductor after collecting all but one of the number plates in the area the day Carol had disappeared. Unfortunately, the one car license plate he didn't get was the one that he had saw Carol enter. However, he could describe the car and the man who sat in the driver's seat. The car was parked on the junction of Robert Street and Fair Oak Road, near Fair Oak Garage. Kevin said he saw Carol approach the green car and tapped on the passenger side door, where a man in his 30s who was reading or writing on some papers was waiting. Mavis desperately issued an appeal where she said, "One thing I am sure of is that by now Carol will be crying for me. She is a friendly girl and would talk to anyone however much we discouraged her, but she didn't like being away from me for too long." Carol Ann Stevens' disappearance sparked one of the biggest police operations of the time in Wales. Cardiff police teamed up with detectives from Scotland Yard and a frantic nationwide search began for 6-year-old Carol. Detectives searched nearby woods, Kitayes Cemetery and empty houses in search of the young child. Police guarded Cardiff Central Station and watched passengers board the Fishguard boat for Ireland. Police interviewed over 10,000 people, checked nearly 3,000 cars, and took more than 1,100 statements during the hunt for Carol. Exactly 2 weeks after Carol's abduction, on the 21st of April, a surveyor working on a river culvert near hamlet of Hareb, north of Llanelli in Carmarthenshire, came across the deceased body of a child. Carol Ann Stevens' body was found over 60 miles away from her home. It was thought that she had been dead for a week before being discovered in the stream, covered by overhanging branches and leaves. She was wearing the same outfit as the day she was abducted. Her skirt was around her feet. One of her shoes was found 5 feet away from her body, and the other was found around 15 foot downstream. Carol's abduction came at the same time as a huge amount of car sales in Britain, and growing concerns that killers would use cars to abduct children began. Carol Ann Stevens' death forced the Stranger Danger campaign to be launched. Carol Ann Stevens' parents were left devastated, and the case left unsolved. Thank you so much for watching. Sending you kutches from my heart to yours. Until next time, bye bye.